Here are all the steps that we took to build my dream library shed. Just a disclaimer before we start, these are all the steps that we took just based off of personal experience. And if you are deciding to embark on this journey, make sure you do your research. There are also a lot of permits that you may or may not need. That all varies on area to area, so make sure that you do your research on that as well. So the first thing that we did was decide if we wanted to buy a pre-built shed or if we wanted to build from top to bottom. So we decided we wanted to buy a pre-built shed because we wanted to save time, and we also just don't have that much experience in constructing a whole shed. Also, things to keep in mind when you're looking at a pre-built shed is, does the shed have a weatherproof door? Does the shed have weatherproof windows? Ours also came with an electrical panel, so that saved a lot of time for us as well. After the shed was delivered and placed on the property, the next thing that began was electricity. I don't know the exact process of that. My fiance's best friend is an electrician. Also, if you are not experienced with electricity, I would definitely recommend hiring someone to do that, because I feel like electricity is something that you shouldn't mess around with. I think it's better to have someone who is experienced and knows what they are doing. The next step after electricity was all of the wall insulation. After insulation, they began building the bookshelves. These are the bookshelves that are on my back wall. They had to build the whole structure of the bookshelves outside of the shed before they brought it into the shed to actually start installing it. While that was happening, they put up all the beadboard on the back wall where the bookshelves were going to go. After the beadboard went up on the back wall, they brought in the whole structure of the bookshelf and they got it up on the wall, installed on the wall. And after that, that is when they were able to install all of the rest of the beadboard for the walls. So next step after that was to paint all of the walls. I also get a lot of questions what color my walls are in my shed. It is a color called pink, Pinque, by the brand Bear. It ended up looking a little too dark, so we mixed 8 small white paint samples with it. The next step that they did was start installing the ceiling. My ceiling is all shiplap, and while they were installing the ceiling, they also were doing the ceiling insulation, which is all the blow-in insulation. And finally, after that, they installed my window unit, and that helped a lot for them because it was so hot. Also, I get a lot of questions. My window unit is an LG. It heats and it cools. So the next step after that was all of the flooring. We installed all LVP flooring. It's easy to maintain, it's waterproof, and it's easy to clean. After that, they started putting up all of the trim on the walls, on the floor, along the ceiling, the crown molding on my bookshelves. They also did all of my window shelves, all of the trim around the windows. The next thing that they did was all of the caulking, so that was pretty easy. It was just time consuming. And then the next step was one of the most exciting parts, installing my chandelier. Honestly, everything didn't feel real until my chandelier was up. I put on all of the little crystals myself. That's when it really hit me that this was my own space and it was coming to life, and it was just like I felt so grateful and I was so excited. I feel like a piece like that can really just bring things together. The last step, and definitely not least, was all of the decorating and bringing in my books. I brought all of my books in first, and then I started all of the decorating, and that was so much fun. I feel like Pinterest is a great place to go if you're looking for some inspiration. I love having this little escape to do something that I truly and genuinely love, and I feel like everyone deserves to have a place like that. It's a great place to just decompress and recharge, especially as a mom. It's my own and it just feels so amazing. And I hope that if you decide to embark on your own library shed journey, I hope that it's everything you want and more. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below and I'll try to get to all of them. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you guys next time.